Hello and welcome to this introductory tuition classification presentation for our incoming graduate students. The Office of Financial Aid is located in Centennial Hall. For our most current office hours, please check our website. We are also available by phone at 970-491-6321. Any general questions about financial aid can be directed to financialaid@colostate.edu. Residency and tuition classification specific emails can be sent to tuitionclassification@colostate.edu. Please also consider visiting our website for more information. Tuition classification is governed by state law that applies to all public institutions of higher education in Colorado and is subject to change at any time. The university is not free to make exceptions to the rules unless specifically permitted by state law. It is very important to note that the burden of proof rests upon the petitioner to provide clear and convincing evidence that they should be considered an in-state student by clearly documenting evidence that they have been domiciled in Colorado for the required 1-year period in accordance with the Colorado tuition classification statutes. Per the tuition classification statutes, you are not able to establish domicile in the state of Colorado for only tuition purposes. You must be able to prove intent to live in Colorado regardless of tuition classification. Your initial classification is determined by the Office of Admissions based on information that was provided by the student on the application for admission. The petition process is your tool to request a change to your residency classification from out of state to in-state. To be eligible to petition, you must either be a newly admitted student for a future term or a current student who is enrolled for at least 1 credit hour for the term you are requesting in-state classification. If you decide to submit a petition, it does not guarantee that the petition will be approved or that you will be granted in-state residency and tuition. At the time you submit your petition, we advise you to consider your tuition classification status as non-resident until otherwise determined, and all personal financial decisions should be made accordingly. Many folks are able to petition for residency. However, there are exceptions. For details about eligibility to petition, please attend a residency orientation. Domicile is defined as your true, fixed, and permanent home. Your domicile is your legal primary residence, which is shown by physical presence and evidence of intent. Generally speaking, you need to both live in the state and show intention of being a permanent resident of the state, regardless of your affiliation with CSU as a student. The domicile period is 12 continuous months or 1 year of establishing and maintaining physical presence, intent, and legal ties to Colorado by the first day of the semester in which you plan to petition. Physical presence is the actual place where a person has established a permanent legal residence. You will need to provide proof of physical presence for the entire 12-month domicile period by submitting documentation like a lease agreement or a home warranty deed. More examples of documentation is covered in our residency orientation. Your evidence of intent to be a resident of Colorado is demonstrated by the absence of ties to your former state of residence and establishment of ties to Colorado. The tuition law consists of several factors which can be used to determine that intent has been established. Examples of intent are listed on this slide. The petition process includes several steps. Please note that it is important that you only submit copies of all required documentation. Your petition must also be complete and have all documents required at time of submission. Completed petitions must be received by the deadline dates, as late or incomplete petitions will not be accepted or reviewed. Petition submission and deadline dates are up on our website. Please complete the online residency orientation on our website if you are interested in learning more about petitioning your tuition classification. Additionally, if you are thinking of pursuing this avenue, it is important that you begin establishing all of your ties to Colorado as soon as possible.